Alrighty. Hey everybody, I know I'm streaming a little about like 10 minutes early, but we'll wait for some people to kind of hop in here. Until then, look at this. Bitcoin's going to try to have a little baby breakout or continue to consolidate here, either way. But today we're going to be talking a little bit about Bitcoin, and we're going to be talking about some of the financial institutions and how they're starting to make moves to, accept Bitcoin, get on this train that we kind of saw a little bit of today. If you guys saw anything about the Bitcoin conference down in Miami, there was some big news that was made there. I don't think it's really resonating with people just yet how good this news is, and as it becomes more and more acceptable, you will see corporations that I usually enjoy holding stock in for the long term, like Visa and Mastercard. They may take a hit in the short term or even in the long term here, depending on how fast they're able to adapt to this new type of technology that's currently being developed. It's still not ready to go just yet, but by the time it is, you will see Visa and MasterCard start to lose some market share in the card swiping business, so to speak, or the transaction area. Because that's how they make all their money. Take a little sliver, right? A little sliver of the profit. And that's not really good because they're just a big old middleman, right? Pretty soon, though, we should see some good stuff coming out of there. And maybe I'll pull up the Strike website as well here, but I'll do that in a little bit. Okay. Let me move this over here. Yeah, there we go. All right. But yeah, hey guys, welcome back. So right now, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, not much has changed from yesterday. We are still holding support. The support we're trying to hold right now is just this right here. Okay. What we're looking at right here, though, is an attempt for us to try to rebound up here and get back up to around 44,500. It's about $1,000 above where we are now. That's what we're kind of hoping for. There are some levels of resistance here. I know we're just looking at the 15-minute chart in this little symmetrical triangle, but if we were to go, let's start off with the 4-hour chart right there. Nothing's really blocking us here. That's good. 3-hour, we got the 200 right here. That could be blocking us a little bit. 20, excuse me, the 2-hour, we just popped above the 20. That could give us a nice little boost. The hour, we've already broken out above this a while ago. You saw that nice little boost right there. 45-minute, we're above that. So we are gaining a little bit of steam here. I'm hoping we can break out in the next few minutes. Again, it's not going to be a parabolic move or anything, but it might be kind of fun just to watch it go up here. Okay. But yeah, there we go. Let me see what's going on here. Truck now. Alrighty. And please make sure to comment down below if you guys have any questions, and give the video a like. I'm starting to understand that with live streams in particular, every like really does help out. I know I've been asking you guys to like the videos for a long time here, but really, every like really does help out, and it shows YouTube that you guys are enjoying the stream. So it should, tell other people that people are enjoying the stream. So come on down, that type of effect, right? Now, we'll watch and see how this performs over the next few hours here. I'll probably be streaming until about like an hour and a half or so. So about 9:30 Pacific time, I'll shut the stream off. But we should have a longer stream. It'll be fine. All right, but here, this is some of the news that we saw today. Let me get out of this. I was changing my mouse sensitivity to kind of turn it up a little bit. We got Twitter, and then digital asset news. Rob has a channel, Digital Asset News, and he was talking about this big announcement here, and he's saying he believes it's bigger than El Salvador, right? And if you guys didn't know, the president of El Salvador actually canceled his trip to the Bitcoin conference. He didn't specify why. He said there was things at home he had to deal with. And from what I know, because I've been to El Salvador a few times and I know some people down there, there's a huge little crime wave of gang activity going on right there right now, and it would look pretty bad if he went in the middle of a crisis to go talk about Bitcoin in Miami, right? So he stayed there. That was kind of a bummer because I wanted to see what he had to say. But the big announcement had to do, there we go, with Jack Mallers. I won't play the video because I'm not entirely sure if I'm allowed to, since it is owned by the Bitcoin Miami conference. But basically, what they were talking about is they pretty much figured out how to use Bitcoin for payment in a very fast and efficient way that doesn't take too long at all, like less than a minute. Really, really precise. And if I pull up the website here, if you just type in Strike on Google, it should pop up as the #1 page. A more connected financial world. I will probably get this. Well, I'll get this app and I'll do a tutorial for you guys about how to do this. That way you guys can see what the good, the bad, and all the other stuff with it. But basically, let's say, one of you guys has a small business and I want to pay with Bitcoin. Well, I can send you money through this app with Bitcoin, and within a few seconds, it takes the Bitcoin, turns it into U.S. dollars, and then the transaction is done. So instead of you getting Bitcoin from the transaction, you're actually just getting paid in fiat dollars. Okay, that we haven't had that before, or nothing of this scale, I would say. So that's gonna be big news because that means if I have one of my cards here, this is my uh, business debit card. If I were to imagine I had crypto on this and it was a phone, if I had like a few Bitcoin on here and I wanted to buy something, it would take that amount of Bitcoin, transfer it over, and it'd be really really easy going forward. Easy process here, so to speak. There's a better way to explain it, but I'm a little exhausted after a long day. But it's big news, and that's the main thing. And it will start to cut into the market share of Visa and MasterCard. They're trying to get rid of the middleman. Because, maybe you guys know this, maybe you guys don't. I used to deal with a lot with MasterCard and Visa. So every time you swipe your Visa, MasterCard, all of my cards in my wallet are MasterCard or Visa. Right? I used to have a Amex, but that's a little bit different. Um, every single time I swipe the card, I'm paying for whatever the register says. But from the consumer or from the merchant side, the person who's selling me the product, every single time there's a swipe, 3% of that transaction or a few percent of that transaction actually goes towards to Visa or MasterCard. So when the economy is good and everybody's spending money willy-nilly, they're making a bunch of money. All right. When the economy is slower, those companies aren't making as much money, but they're still making money because everybody's using their card for something, especially in this new digital age. And especially with COVID and how we have a chain shortage and everything like that, everybody's been using the card more often and so forth. But you're going to see Visa and MasterCard have to do a massive push to get around this kind of hurdle here. They want to make sure that they can make money being a middleman. And the utility of Strike right now is to say, hey, we don't need the middleman. That means maybe you won't have to pay the full price, right? So you don't have to worry about those extra fees. And the merchant will make a little bit more money, so everybody's happier because there's no middleman. It's beautiful. So I'll download this app later on tonight, and I'll make a tutorial for it. But basically, the main point here is what you get on a 100 Bitcoin purchase after fees. $100. You see Cash App, they take a fee. Venmo, they take a fee. Coinbase, they take a fee. Coinbase is the biggest because they suck. But what do you call it? So there's no fee there. There's no fee. That's going to be the great thing going forward for us. And it was a big announcement today. It had some reverberations. It had some effects on Twitter. But I don't think people are really recognizing how big this is going to be. Mostly because it's not mainstream just yet. Right? It's a big thing. It's coming. Once it starts being implemented, it'll be great. And then, if we were to go over here to Visa.com, and there you go. Now Visa is going to have to start making a larger push. So if we go over here to careers, once it wants to load up, Visa has a slow website. There we go. And let's say we type in digital assets. It might be digital. No, okay, let me just type in crypto then. There we go. And you see all these jobs available for cryptocurrencies. And it says show 10 at a time. Let's show 50 at a time. There we go. All right. These are all crypto jobs. Now, you can see the majority of them are in risk and security because they do want to make sure everything is safe, and it looks like they're building from the scratch up right now. And you have a few jobs here actually for product and solutions management, and then down here, finance, consulting, product solutions down here, right? So senior directors. So they're loading up on staff right now. The thing is, which is going to affect the regular tech industry pretty soon, is tech is cool, tech is fun, you get options, you get a lot of money, but these corporations are getting a lot of funding, and they're pumping out a bunch of money. They're going to be willing to pay top dollar for top talent in order to be the first one in this new marketplace once it starts becoming more acceptable to pay for anything in Bitcoin, pay for anything in Dogecoin, or any of these other coins here, right? It's going to be crazy, and it's going to be very, very... it's going to be a battle for these corporations here. So you're already seeing companies like Visa go heavy in here. And you see the dates right here. All these jobs were just launched a couple weeks ago. 328 pretty much, 330, 325. So at the end of March this year, and a few of these actually for the marketing back in February. So you're starting to see this implementation. Hey, people are going to accept it more and more. And that leads me to my next point. don't forget that as much as we like to day trade, swing trade, and make money in these markets, a really solid thing you can do, because pretty soon everybody's going to be all in on Bitcoin, is to just keep on adding to those longer term positions, whether that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Luna at this point. Make sure you guys have some long term holdings. Those will make you good money down the road, great money down the road, and you're already look back 2 3 years. Did you ever think Visa or MasterCard would be hiring this many people for crypto? Some of you guys might have, I did, but not many people probably would have thought that in everyday life. Now we're starting to see some adoption of it, and people saying, hey, there's a market. They're realizing there's a way to make money. My shareholders are going to be pretty happy if I make even more money, right? Because the share will improve. So let's start getting ready to go into this market. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a battle. I'm not entirely sure if Visa or MasterCard will end up on top, but they still will grab a decent portion of market share one way or the other, because, lobbying. They have a lot of money to lobby Congress, and I think there will be some regulations that kind of help them, and some regulations that, help out everybody at the same time. And this is just Visa. I haven't actually checked out MasterCard, so let me check out MasterCard very fast, just to see if there's any careers. MasterCard careers, accept cookies, sure. Apply for a job. Workday, okay. What do we got right here? So let's let's type in crypto for this one as well. Uh, Identity asset management. This one, I don't see much crypto coming from cryptography, no. Substitute. I don't see much from MasterCard yet. MasterCard's going to have to pick up its pace here. Now, let me just make sure it's not like under digital assets. No, 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 no. So MasterCard's behind the curve. They're going to have to work on this, but it's good to see Visa's on top of it, mostly because I own a good portion of my retirement portfolio is Visa. Well, not right now. I kind of sold a lot of it. But still, I'm going to add more to it down the road, because Visa's been very good to me over the years. All right, but there we go. And yeah, so there's just been a lot of news about it. We'll see what happens now. But yeah, some people are saying it's bigger than El Salvador. This is Rob. He has a channel about 300,000 views, I think, or 300,000 subscribers. Pretty nice guy. All right. What's right here? Hey, Alistair, what's the reason you're choosing Belize? I notice it's pricey because of imports. Well, money. First of all, it is half as cheap as America still, with all the all the extra prices and stuff like that. I'm not too concerned about like the day to day cost of living. I want a nice house. I want to just relax and get away for a little bit. And Belize is going to be great. And the fact that their first language is actually English, it's going to be really good. I'm actually going to be calling their consulate tomorrow. They have an LA consulate down in California. And I'm going to be asking them if they have any like crypto policies and stuff like that I need to be aware of. So far, I haven't heard of anything. I know you can buy crypto and trade crypto in Belize, so that's kind of a good thing for me. Um, but it's just nice. It's warm. I could do whatever I want, kind of chill out. And right now, like I've been really busy over the past few years taking care of my mom and family and everything like that. My mom's getting back up to normal speed. She's doing fantastic. She can walk up the stairs now. Give it a month and she'll be able to drive again. And then, when I leave in like about a year and a half or so, like a year and a few months, then, I know she'll be 100% good to go. But yeah, it's just a nice place to go. The houses are nice. The real estate's nice. The people down there are nice. No crime, no violence. I could use it as a kind of a posting spot to travel all throughout South America, and Central America, and back up to the States, kind of all within the nice area there. So just a nice place. I like the feeling of it. I've been down there a couple times. I've been through Central America quite a bit. But I need a change in life. I feel really trapped after all this COVID stuff, and even now I still don't even like going back into the cities. I'm an old man instead of a young guy's body. It's just the way I've not been raised per se, but just I enjoy the last place I lived before I came here to help my mom out, because I moved closer to my mom so she can come visit me more often. Instead of me picking her up and bringing her all the way back downtown. Um, I used to have a beautiful view of the water from my old place, and every morning, and I mean every morning, it's my routine. I get up, I take a shower, I make a little bit of breakfast, just like a small little breakfast here. And then what I would do, it was like I would go over to my latte machine. It cost me like $500. Fantastic little latte machine or espresso machine. I make an espresso every single morning. A couple shots, little bit of lactose milk with lactated milk, and then I just look outside, look at the water, and just kind of enjoy life. I like having a very calm and rewarding life. When I'm here right now, I'm always working or doing something, but I don't have the opportunity right now to take those small moments. Mostly because I got a dog, and that was my choice. But when I'm down there, I'll have so much more time to just like be me. Like I am much more high strung over the past like 4 or 5 months than I normally am, and I realize that, and I don't like it. So pretty soon, what you guys are going to see me do, going into like a channel perspective here, YouTube is still ignoring me as far as helping me out. They're just ignoring me. There's nothing I can do at this point. I'm not going to keep on asking you guys to help me out, and as far as retweeting and stuff like that, they're not even going to bother to help me out. YouTube's ignoring me, frankly, right? With the proof that you guys can just go on my Twitter account. But what I'm going to start doing here is I'm just not going to worry about the views. I'm not going to worry about how popular my channel is. I think I've been doing that a little too much, and it's been kind of working its way in the back of my head and just like making me annoyed, so to speak. What I'm going to start doing here is I'm going to start doing videos on whatever I want to do as far as the crypto world, not just technical analysis, kind of branching out and doing a whole bunch more fun stuff. And I may do like 5-6 videos a day. Some of them maybe more intensive, like longer and things like that. Some may just be on my phone. I have a gimbal, and I don't know what it's at here, but a gimbal, I pretty much put my phone in it, and it stabilizes it, and I can move it around and do everything, and the phone still stays right here, no matter which way I move my hand, that type of stuff. I may just record myself outside while on a walk on the beach, giving out some news that I just found out, something I think you guys may know. So I'm gonna be blasting videos. If I see any cool options for it, I'll do a short video for you guys, right? So I'm just gonna be blasting content, and the people that want to watch those videos, click on them and watch them, and I appreciate it. If you guys don't like the video that I'm posting at that particular time of the day or whatever, don't feel like you guys have to watch it. It's fine. I'm just gonna start scattering videos, so probably starting Monday, I guess. Because this weekend I'm sending out the first newsletter as far as any breakouts that I see in the crypto markets or in the stock and options markets as well. So anytime I see a breakout or a breakdown or anything close to that, I'll make sure that you guys have a watch list every Sunday for free, not charging anything for it. That way we can kind of instead of me making a video on it, which is going to take a lot of my time, I just say, hey, this is a breakout. Here's the screenshot of it, like 4 or 5 of them, and I type a little bit of paragraph, and it's going to be a lot faster. Then, if there's any news that I see happening in the markets, or some Federal Reserve numbers coming out, or unemployment, whatever, something like that, I can also do a little paragraph on the bottom. So you guys will have 2 to 3 pages of stuff to look at. Some of you guys may skim it. Some of you guys may add them to your watch. And some of you guys may just want to see what I think about the current market conditions. All right. So get ready for that kind of change. And I'm also going to be napping a lot more, which will make my happier, whatever you want to call it. Not happier, but more energy. I've been really busy with taking Loki to the dog park every day. He, for whatever reason, Loki got a burst of energy over the last week or two, and he wants to run and run and run more than he's ever wanted to run before. So I've been taking him to the park every day, and the park I go to isn't close. It's like a half an hour or so away. But it's the best park around, so I don't mind the drive, basically. And we get a pup cup, and I get Dutch Bros after every single time. Including Dutch Bros here, and another Dutch Bros here. Although those 2 Dutch Bros came yesterday because I asked for a blended drink. They gave me an iced drink, and they're like, hey, you can just keep the iced drink. So I ended up giving it to my sister. But still, I've been doing a lot of stuff with Loki so far. But yeah, get ready for those updates. I'm pretty excited about them. I'm just not gonna care. Yeah, I feel like I care too much about the views, and I feel like that's not where I should be. What I should be worried about. I'm just gonna go back to having fun with YouTube, because this whole process with the money thing of YouTube and the demonetization and them flat out ignoring me, it sent me it made me rethink how much I really care about YouTube. Not necessarily about you guys, but about trying to make money off of YouTube, because I don't necessarily need it, but I want them back because some of you guys are members, some of you guys wanted to donate and do all that type of stuff, And then later on, YouTube's going to be coming out with some cool features, and I want to be able to share those features with you. I think later on this year, YouTube is going to be doing a thing where, like with Twitch, you can gift out memberships, and that way I can gift out memberships to some of you guys that have maybe been watching for a while, and you guys just want to see what you get out of it. Because eventually here, well, once I get the memberships back, I'm probably going to do 3 member videos a week. And then I might just do some personal stuff where maybe I have a few member streams, like a membership stream on Saturdays again, where only members can come into it. It might only be like 100 people in there, or not even, right? I have like 300 members right now. Probably around, maybe, depending on what time of day it is, probably like 10 to 30 members may show up. And if you want to do a deep dive into any particular crypto, not just like the 2 to 3 minute ones we do on here, we'll go on it and we'll talk about it, and we'll see some Fibonacci levels, Ganfeng levels. We'll do the whole thing and see the best price you could be buying in at, looking for the breakouts, some news, going into articles, seeing if there's anything else going on there as far as long-term holds, because it won't just be day trading or swing trading. It'll be, multiple different ways of investing and so forth here. Even a bunch of stuff there. So I'm just going to start getting ready to do a whole massive push on YouTube. But at the same time, it won't really take more time on my part. Because what I've been trying to do now is do all these really long and complex videos. And I'm not quite there as an editor to really make top tier content like that. So I'm just going to go back to having fun with YouTube. Especially because, look at, I posted another tweet today, if I can find it. I don't know how YouTube works. This one right here. Twitch applies. Hey, at Team YouTube, day 4 of trying to get some help. Do you have a policy of not telling creators the specifics of why they get demonetized? Looking for some clarity so I can find out which of my videos broke your rules. And they haven't responded at all. So they're ignoring me at the moment. Maybe I did annoy them, but still, they still didn't answer my questions. Let's see. Hey, Teaser, happy to see you back, and thanks, Byte, for asking everybody to make sure to like the stream. I really appreciate when you guys like the stream. Let's see. And hey, RW, I love this shirt. I haven't worn this shirt in a while now, but today we had our first sunny day in Washington in a minute. The weather today was like in the 60s and 70s, so it was like, it's about to go into the 50s tomorrow, so it was like the one good day I could go out and have a nice shirt on. But I have a lot of shirts like this. I need to buy even more of them. Let's see. When can we use the Bitcoin in stores like Jack did today? I do not know the timeline here. I'm assuming probably a few months away still. The fact that it even kind of glitched out there, but I think that was just as remote glitching when you watch the presentation, not really the process glitching out there. I'm going to assume a few months, maybe even longer than that, maybe all the way out until the end of the year. Who knows? But you're already seeing companies like start to take that move to try to adjust to this new ecosystem that's being built out. Again, MasterCard hasn't started hiring people for crypto yet. Visa has like 50 jobs available if you guys wanted them, or little under 50 jobs if you guys wanted to look at them and apply for them, right? Let me go back over here because Visa has them and MasterCard does not. I don't actually know what people actually go to a Visa website or a MasterCard website. I've never actually been to these websites. Well, Visa, because I buy the stocks, but not in the career section. All right, so let's go back over here to crypto. And, show 50 at a time. So, manager, Visa Crypto, Latin America and Caribbean. Manager, Crypto Solutions. And so, like, if we, let me see one in America here. Let me see if I can find one up here. Foster City, California, crypto product payments. No, what's one? Risk advisory, risk. Okay, let me go. There's a marketing team here. Management, non-technical. Okay, crypto rotational program, new college grad. That can be pretty fun if any of you guys are in college here. So the crypto rotational program is an 18-month rotational development experience designed to fully fluent cryptocurrency team to build a fully fluent cryptocurrency team now and for the future. You'll enjoy 3 distinct business rotations that provide you with practical experience of different areas within the emerging cryptocurrency ecosystem at Visa. These are crypto products, crypto solutions, and digital partnerships. The program supports Visa's mission to build a strong entry-level pipeline of talent with a deep subject matter expertise in the crypto space. In addition to meaningful rotations, associates are given training and development, mentoring, networking, and leadership exposure. that title, that explanation kind of makes me feel like they don't want to pay them a lot of money. They're going to realize pretty soon they have to pay it good for the top talent, because if somebody's leaving Google with their options and, like, leaving Google, Amazon, wherever, Microsoft, Intel, any of these major corporations, they are going to have to get paid quite a bit if they want to make that change. Now, if Visa is trying to hire within, I don't know how many Visa employees are really crazy fanatical about crypto that they know so much about the blockchain and all the real integral stuff that they're going to have to know for this, right? They're going to have to go outside of Visa to find this talent, and they're going to have to pay for it, right? And look at it's not just Visa. Everybody's going to pay for it, right? It's a very competitive market. It's an emerging market, and there's only so much talent out there. There's only so much talent. And again, if you're an amazing coder and you don't know anything about crypto, you're not going to survive in this job for long, because crypto is just something so new, so crazy, that the mindset isn't going to be really ready to adapt to it just yet. If they adapt, good for them. But for the most part, it's going to be an interesting time here. Work hours varies on the need of the department. That's salary. Travel requirements. This position requires travel 5 or 10% of the time. That's pretty cool to see. And then it's an office setting. But this is some crazy stuff that we'll be seeing more of over the next few years. Which means, again, even though Bitcoin's at $43,000, it's still a good opportunity to keep on adding for your long-term positions. And that doesn't mean just bulk buy, but if you guys buy a little bit of Bitcoin every week or every month or so forth, it's still a good idea. Bitcoin is still making progress, and when you see the giants like Visa get involved with cryptocurrencies, it makes you even more confident that Bitcoin is going to reach $1 million someday, right? It's going to be huge, and it will be a great way to have transactions. And one of the things that I kind of like, and I'm wondering how it's going to work out down the road, I'll have to do more research on this as well, talking about Jack's announcement today. If I use their app, can I use their app anywhere in the world? Because right now, it's kind of a pain to use a credit card or a debit card outside the United States when I travel. But if I can just pay for something using my Bitcoin, and I don't have to worry about, telling my bank I'm leaving America and stuff like that, that will be really great for me. And so that's kind of what I'm getting at here. You're going to see this become more mainstream over the years. And right now, even in the year 2022, there still is a lot of hate institutionally around cryptocurrency and the technology behind it. It's gonna prevail against all that hate. But again, it's going to be a while, and might as well keep on adding up to some of these positions for the long term. It's right here. And thanks, Ken. I know, I love this shirt. Hey, Mike, I like what Jack Mahler said. It was great news for crypto. Yeah, he talks so weird for me. I'm not used to people talking like that, especially at big convention things. But he was good. He was good, and I liked what the big news was. I mean, it's crazy big news, but I don't think it's getting the proper attention just yet. I will watch CNBC tomorrow to see if they talk about it at all. And if they do, I'll let you guys know what they say, because they'll either love it or hate it. But because I want to see how they're going to talk about Visa and MasterCard, if they bring them up at all. Have you thought about starting a Twitter for live updates? Do you already have one? I have a Twitter. I don't use it really much. I just started using it because YouTube was ignoring me in every which way about my account. I don't really have the time to tweet that much. I really don't have the time for that. If I see something throughout the day that, is something worth showing you guys, I'll do a tweet. But it won't be my first instinct to tweet. I may just make a quick YouTube video on it. I did make a tweet the other day here. Thanks, Annette. I did make another tweet here the other day. Kind of just a little graph right here, right? We may have a buying opportunity the next couple of days if we test out this trend line, basically, right? And right now we got close to the trend line. We got a little bit closer than before. And so if you guys ever took a buying opportunity here, you might be hoping for a short-term pop back up to, somewhere up here around $44,500 before ultimately we either get rejected or we have a surge that breaks us back up above this old trend line here. So there was a buying opportunity here, whether you guys took it or not. I mean, still technically right now it's a decent opportunity here. But, instead of having maybe, an extra 1.5 or 2% stop loss, maybe right now you have to have a 2.5% stop loss. Not really much of a difference, right? But yeah, so there we go here. Let's see, and hey, Arcs, let me check it out. I will try to fix it right now. So what happens a lot of the time is I have a Discord link down there, but YouTube will use different links that I have put down. So I had an old link, I put a new link in there, but sometimes it refreshes it as the old description section, which is extremely annoying. But I have no idea how to completely fix it there. But yeah, let me do this for you very fast, and then boom, invite people, and let's go with the. There we go. Copy. Join the Discord community. No, that's not what I want to do. There you go. All right. If you refresh the stream, you should find it. The link down there works now. Let me exit Discord here. Pull that back up. There we go. Okay. Belize beachfront crypto time with Michael Whitman. Do it. I'm just when I move down to Belize, I'm gonna probably get a house first. Like rent out a house until I can choose either a plot of land I want to build a house off of, or just buy a house on the beach. And my goal is if you guys have ever watched Rob's channel over at Crypto Asset News or Digital Asset News, you'll see him usually behind him. He has like his nice pool or indoor pool, which is really nice. I want to have it like when I was living back before this place, where behind me you're going to see a nice beachfront view and things of that nature, and it'll be really really cool. The only thing is I'm going to have AC usually running in the office like 24, not 24, quite a bit of time during the day, because I don't want my computer to overheat, or I'm probably going to have to upgrade it to get some really cool coolant into it or something like that. But yeah, when I move to Belize and I do get my beach house, whether it's like a few years from now, like the house is built and everything like that, or if I just rent a house and I can find a house to rent on the beach that's just like, I mean, it's just me and my dog, right? It's Loki, so I should be okay with like 1,500 square feet house if I can. And that'd be really nice to see what goes, and if I can, do that there. I just want to make sure it's in a chill community. I want it to be like a nice community, but there's like a lot of old folks communities over there, and I wouldn't be even eligible in there. But they have some nice little plots of land. But I want a yard for Loki. That's the big thing. I want a yard. I could rent a house on a lagoon, so I could be like a pirate back in the day. But that could be that could be pretty fun. Let's see. Mike, not only did I miss the 1,000% pump in options calls for Nvidia, I missed the 1,000 pump on the puts. Oh yeah, what do you call it? It's been a volatile time. It looks like we're trying to pivot a little bit here in the markets. Let's put this up here very fast. Let's go to the Dow first, I guess. You might want that might be better. You know, it almost feels like we want to do a shoulder, a little bit of head, and a little bit of a shoulder here, even though I don't even know if that was a shoulder, right? The charts are over the place. The Federal Reserve minutes and all that type of stuff are just causing a little bit of concern. We heard that they're going to start reducing their balance sheet pretty quickly, according to them, with the caveat saying if the market starts to freak out, we might slow down on this type of selling of assets to help deal with inflation. All right, because remember, we looked at that Fed debt. Oh, geez. No, not. I think this is it. Yeah. I mean, look at that balance sheet. This is going from like 2008, a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a bump. 2008, we popped up to like 2 million. Then in 2000, what, 13, 14, we popped up to 4 million. And then all of a sudden, now we're like at the $8 million mark after COVID, right? And this is assets in millions of dollars. I'm pretty sure it should be in. This is a little bit different. They have a different way of showing this. It's more than just this amount of money in millions of dollars. It's not in millions of dollars. But yeah, so it should be pretty interesting. But let's take a look at Nvidia very fast. I just want to take a quick peek at it. Yeah, look at that pop. Look at that drop, man. See all these golden crosses. They didn't really do anything. Oh well, you're about to have a death cross here with Nvidia. Well, let me see. Dow. How do you have the death cross? Having a golden cross there. Death cross there. Death cross there. Spy had the death cross already. And then Nasdaq already had the death cross there as well. I mean, I think the reason we haven't dropped as far, because remember, we started buying puts on SPY all the way back over here. All right. I think one of the reasons we haven't been coming down as hard is because the Federal Reserve still hasn't done anything yet. They're announcing what they're going to do, but it's not going to really start until May. So all of that, everything we thought they were going to start doing more immediately because inflation's out of freaking control, the bureaucracy kind of slowed everything down, and the markets understood that, and they said, "Hey, there's still an opportunity to make some money here." And you saw the Nasdaq actually have a good little rebound here. Or this is a SPY, excuse me. After it came back down here or from the lows, it rallied up 12, 13%. Not bad, right? Now there's a little bit of a cool down happening on. You're seeing money move out of tech and it's going back into healthcare. If you go over here to the heat map, there we go. You see healthcare right here, definitely get a lot more money in there. Medical services, consumer defensive, and manufacturers a little bit there. It should be pretty cool. Ford went down a little bit today as well because it got downgraded to a sell or underperform or something like that. I'll be watching that pretty closely because I own some Ford, but I bought it like at $4, so I'm not too concerned about it going forward. But it's a long-term play, so nothing short. Pop that right back here. There we go. But you can see Bitcoin's trying to break out here. We'll see what happens. I opened up a small position a little bit ago before the stream just to see if it did. I'm just going to have some fun with it. I think I put like $50. By no means is it crazy. I can't stream and have money in the market with you guys. It makes me feel too anxious. Excuse me. What's it here? But I've been playing with Oxy and scoring 2 games. As long as you're making money in the market, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And make sure to record it in the trading journal. Whether you guys are using the one I provided for you guys, or you guys have one like in a journal or like physical form, definitely use a trading journal. It will help you guys out a lot. What's right here? Fox Business has been talking about the Miami conference. CNBC just isn't just supporting crypto. I mean, they've talked about it a little bit. But it just seems CNBC is more skeptical about everything, while Fox Business has been like, oh my gosh, this is great. Look at all this new future stuff that's going to be happening, right? There's just more excitement. CNBC's been talking about it like... yeah, they talked to Kathy Woods. Go to videos here. Yeah, Kathy Woods, and that's kind of about it. Oh, another person at the conference. So they've been talking about it a little bit, but there was no enthusiasm about it. They're trying to find something to critique about it, not to pump up the conference, so to speak. And yeah, so you have a good point there. I don't know. I'm not going to call them mainstream media, but you do see a lot of corporate media that's kind of that corporate bubble, so to speak. They are still towing the line here, and it's been true for most of these channels for a while. If you guys remember the 2008 financial crisis and things like that, they really didn't care about anything that was happening at that time. They really didn't care much about what was going on. They cared more about the market than the average day people. They only thought about everyday people in terms of a political dialogue, saying, hey, all these people are mad. They're going to probably vote Republican because they're really mad at Obama and Bush respectively during the different times. How are they going to? How is this going to affect the market? Right? Sometimes they're just a little too corporate and not enough Main Street, I guess is the term. So I'm hoping they'll fix it up. But again, I don't go to CNBC for news about crypto. I kind of go to see what they're talking about crypto. But normally when they talk about crypto and they have these videos that they put out there, they're not really they're parsing certain things to fit a narrative. They're not really showing you the whole picture, right? So that's most media outlets, whether you're talking all the way from MSNBC to Fox News to whatever you do. They all kind of parse it to fit their certain narrative. It's just up to us to realize there's a narrative being shown, and you just kind of want to get a little bit of everything to see what they can kind of figure out and see what people are thinking about these specific type of investments as far as cryptocurrencies and things like that for the future. You think that gap will be filled sooner or later on the SPY 425, 430 here? Most likely here. We're going to see how it all plays out, but the market has been acting. It's been very resilient over the past few weeks here. We should be down a lot more, but I think it's partly because the war in Ukraine is going relatively well. I won't say it's going well, but Ukraine's still in the fight. Ukraine is still in the fight. That's the big thing. And as far as I know, Russia is still is still selling oil to Europe. That Europe hasn't stopped taking Russian oil. So there's been a slight hit to the status quo, but it hasn't been a big major hit just yet. Because remember, America, we haven't invested much into Russia. We just don't. And so we're not really tied to them by many, many things. So if we were more, if we had more trade deals with them and things like that, then of course it would have a larger impact on the economy. But we don't, and so it isn't, right? Like if China invaded Taiwan and we stopped trading with China, all hell would break loose, and it would be absolutely insane if China invaded Taiwan. How bad America needs Chinese goods. Like our stores would be empty within a matter of weeks. That's how bad it would be. You think that the COVID toilet paper, stuff was bad? We have so much stuff from China. Whenever we do, it feels like eventually China is going to invade Taiwan. When that happens, that's going to be a seismic economic shift, and you'll most likely see the markets actually go into free fall for a few days, something similar to what we saw with COVID back in 2020. It'll be that type of bad. You see with Russia, we had a little bit of a downward move, but it wasn't anything crazy like COVID, right? And that's how intertwined our economy is with China, right? So that'll be the next major thing over the next few years. I think it's going to happen. We'll see. But right now, China doesn't seem to be doing anything major like in the short term here. Do I think Amazon will get back to pre-stock split numbers? Years from now, yes, but don't think of it as like a Tesla type of play, where Tesla did this split and all of a sudden went parabolic after a little bit of time. I don't think Amazon's going to be like that, mostly because Tesla did it in a very great market conditions. They were smart about when they did it. Amazon's doing it as soon as interest rates are being arose, high inflation, which leads to people not having enough money to spend on all these extra goods, the luxury goods that you might buy on Amazon, and so when earnings start coming out for the next quarter, you are going to see that being reflected in Amazon's numbers. So you won't see that huge parabolic boom. You're not going to see that massive growth, right? Kind of unfortunate, but they didn't time their stock split as well as the Tesla guys did. Tesla was beautiful about their timing. So if we go back over here to Tesla, oh, okay, there we go. We go back over here to Tesla. All right. And we look to see when they did their split. Back over here, September 2020. It split, came back down. Usually after a split, we come back down. Then what happened? We consolidated for a little bit, consolidated. The first breakout we did after that, again, 2020, the rally is still going strong. Everything is fine. Everybody's happy. There's stupid money just pouring into the market. Everybody is getting free stimulus checks. I didn't get any stimulus checks, but everybody's getting free stimulus checks where they're getting like $2,000 or so from the government. And they're just pumping it into the stock market if they're young. They're kind of saving if they're a little bit more smarter, but they're just pumping in money to the market left and right. You have the GameStop things going on. Everything wild is happening at this time. And so when this breakout happened, it went up about 106% afterwards before, again, a lot of retail traders in here going up 100%, then falling 40%. That's retail traders right there. And then, of course, we consolidated for a little bit of time, right? This line shouldn't be there. This line should be more like that. But yeah, consolidated, broke down right here, and then boom, a couple days of doing nothing, trying to fight above the 50-day moving average, crashed back down even more. So, like, if you think about it in totality, the whole move down was about 40%. About 40%. Oh, yeah, about the same thing right there. About 40% move down. And then ultimately we consolidate a little bit longer, have a false breakout there that I bought. I lost some money on that play. I bought, then I just, down here, actually just bought some shares of Tesla. Then we had another breakout. This breakout also broke out, went up a little bit, ultimately fell back down, did absolutely nothing except for hold the 50 and the 200 daily moving averages, and then ultimately rally up very slowly until we started to spike back up here. And even if you're looking to buy different breakouts, right, it wasn't broke out right there. We went sideways even more still. And then we eventually popped up out of nowhere, right? So, you know, and then when you look at Amazon's price now, different. Uh, different things here. A breakout that led to nice gains, right? This breakout right here, the last one we had, rallied up about 8%. Fine. We had a massive double bottom. We broke out above it, and not really Amazon's fault, but just the market conditions with the Federal Reserve and everything like that. We came down hard after having a small breakout. Like, what was this? You probably would have bought it somewhere around here. Only gave you about 4% returns, 128 bucks. So you could have made some money trading options on this. But if you guys were just buying shares, which I mean, who's buying shares of Amazon at this price, right? You would have only made a small amount of income here. So let's see what happens. The charts are completely different with Amazon and Tesla about where they did their splits at, right? When's the last time? No, I can't even see it. But yeah, so it's going to be much different. And I'm not entirely sure if Amazon has a fanatical fan base like Tesla does. I don't know if they're ever going to do it. Elon Musk, he's a little awkward. He's a little weird, but he's just a good guy. He's nice. He's fun to listen to. He has a good sense of humor. It's hard to not like him unless you just don't like the fact that he has a bunch of money, right? And I'm kind of the guy that I admire people that have more money if they kind of built it up from nothing, right? No, Loki's behind me. But yeah, so I don't think it's going to be as good of a play as Tesla down the road, but it still will have a good rally sometime after it has a split. Once market conditions get a little bit better on, you may actually see Amazon get pretty cheap relative, kind of since the split's going to happen. But overall, I'm going to be watching it. I will trade it. The options will be much cheaper. They'll be much better. It won't be as crazy of a market if you ask me. And I think you'll see people look to trade a little bit more. It's just not going to be that parabolic move where you're earning thousands and thousands of percents on it trading like Tesla guys did. Tesla was absolutely crazy. Everybody liked Elon Musk. They want to pump up Tesla to help out Elon, that type of things, right? And now everybody's watching Twitter because of all this Elon news. We didn't even hit that right there, yeah. But yeah, so now everybody's watching Tesla. Oh, excuse me, Twitter. We'll see how this goes. Personally, if I was Elon and I had the capital he does, I would have went with a little bit more of alpha approach. And instead of going on the board and being capped at only being able to buy like 15% of the company max, I would have just said, hey, I'm buying 51% of the company's shares. And then now I have majority of control. This is my baby. I'm doing it my way. I think he's being very diplomatic. And part of me thinks he just has so many different projects. He's not going to be completely, trying to do everything, like, really do much for Twitter. He's going to try to influence it, but not directly control it, right? So I understand where he's coming from. I do, but just me, I would have went in there, guns a blazing. Let's buy up like 51% of all Tesla shares, which Twitter shares, which he can afford, and then go crazy with it. And that would have made a huge splash, which it would have been very fun to watch. And now going over here to the Bitcoin charts here, we've already talked about Bitcoin over the short term here. We'll see what happens. Here. No, we should be fine. Okay. We have another 2 days and 21 hours here. We still have an opportunity to hold this 20-week moving average. That's really our short-term goal right now. Just hold above this just in the next 2 days, almost 3 days now. Just close above this level. Then we could just start to curl back up and make it look really easy, like it was all planned all along, where we had this nice little curl, came back down, then boom. We don't break down below this trend line here. We just start making a move up a little bit faster, okay? Because at the same time, we are at, this is still a level of support. There's a reason why we did stop here. Let me see. So let's see how everything plays out. But again, I'm still holding some positions that I bought up here. Some of them are at a loss. Some of them are kind of breaking even. There's nothing really I bought that's really doing fantastic at the moment. Um, I have some smaller positions going on. That's kind of what I'm dealing with now. I'm looking to buy. I'm looking to buy some Kyoko coin tomorrow. That's going to be fun. Or I think it's what's today, 7th. It's either the 8th or the 9th. I got to check out BitGet. Right now, this position's down 22%. I'm not too concerned about it, though. I just want to see if we're going to break out. It's me having fun with the money. Um, Mostly because I'm streaming with you guys. Where is it at? BitGet Launchpad. Here we go. So yeah, it starts 64647. No, this is where it's. Hold on a second here. So 4 days, 17 hours, 12 seconds, something like that, maybe, or 4 hours, 17 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So what do you call it? It'll be pretty soon here, but I'll be able to buy some Kyoko, and I'm gonna buy it mostly because what we talked about the last few times is like ZBZ. I think it'll be a fun little long term hold for me. It's a lending program. I like lending programs. I like anyway somebody makes money instead of middlemen usually do really good work in the crypto space. A middleman is always kind of needed. There's always a cryptocurrency trying to get rid of a middleman, but there's always a middleman ready to kind of like squeeze in there and take a little bit of money there. And this is one right here, DAO to DAO credit provider. Somebody needs credit, well, we can provide credit. Not even a middleman here. It's just a credit provider. But the last one, what was it? ZBC. It's up 3% today. It was up a little bit more over the last few days before Bitcoin went down here. But it opened up at 2 cents a few weeks ago, and now it's at about 4 cents, like less than a penny away, right? So it's doubled in the last few weeks. I'm hoping to see something like that happen with the coins that I buy, and then I'm going to be holding it for a longer period of time. This has a lower market cap for sure, so I'm going to hope it's going to be turning into something more like another BGB down the road, as long as they continue to kind of have this good utility where they can lend. I'm going to be happy to hold them. If for whatever reason regulations try to harm them or something like that, or regulations may hinder their business, I'll probably scale out about 70 to 80% of my position and leave that last 20% in there just to kind of hold for a long term, in case for whatever reason it went parabolic one day, and I got it on the first exchange it was ever on, really cheap, and I was like, oh, look at that! I made it for like 20,000 dollars because I just had a couple $100 in this coin, down the road, right? But again, I don't want any regulations to really hinder this one right here. Again, because it's like credit. Okay, let me put it back up here. Hey Brian, is it cheaper in Belize? Oh yeah, it's way cheaper. But it's not necessarily the cheaper factor for me. If it was really cheap, I would have moved down to Bolivia. I thought about Bolivia. The houses were nice. Everything was dirt cheap down there. But I wanted like a higher standard of life, like the nice house and everything. But I wanted the nicer restaurants and things like that you get in Belize. Belize is a big tourist destination. It's not landlocked like Bolivia. So when I look at real estate over in like Belize here, uh, like this, and I just want a house, and I wanted to have a certain amount of square feet minimum. Like I've been doing 3,000 minimum square feet, but for now, let's just go with 1,500. Okay, so you can get houses like this. Caribbean beachfront property, Stand Creek, $650,000. Most of these are kind of like, oh, to me, they're almost like fixer uppers because the colors are a little too wild for me. I don't want to have a blue house. I don't want to have a pink house, a red house, a yellow house. I just want to have a tan house. Um, but you can get like stuff like this, right? So, oops, I don't know if this is good pictures. They always take really bad quality photos. But you're on the beach. Look at that crystal clear blue water. It's beautiful, right? Don't got to worry about much stuff. That would all be torn out and put new stuff in there. The walls are blue. I don't like blue walls. I would kind of change it up a little bit more, maybe actually extend the balcony out. But I would do a whole bunch of fixing up to any house I bought. I liked, since I have the capital and the money to do it, I kind of just want to make my house like something that I really enjoy being in, right? Um, but yeah, so cheaper, like this house in America probably like over $1 million easily. Um, the heck? Oh, right here. But you have more like modern houses if you really wanted to have condos and stuff like that. Cheaper houses, more expensive houses. The houses on lagoons, like this one right here, 2,700 square foot on the lagoon. Blue waters, looks nice. But look at that house. I mean, look at the color of the house. I showed my mom this and I just started cracking up. I told her I wasn't, like, I didn't know I was going to live inside of an Azteca. Azteca is a Mexican restaurant out here. But you get a view of the water. You get all that beachfront property. Right, you look at that. It's still nice. I mean, the indoors okay. I'd probably get some stuff changed out. I kind of want to have a larger oven area with one of the main vents coming down from the ceiling. But it's not bad. There's office space. I would not have my office right there, but it's good. It's nice. I'm being picky, but that's just because I can change it up. Again, all that 2,700 square feet, 2 beds, 2 baths, 1 acre lot size house on the water on the lagoon. For like $385,000, you might even be able to negotiate a little bit lower, especially as home sales are going down because of all the interest rates and stuff like that. And there is less people buying houses in Belize right now because they had a little bit of a surge because of COVID. A lot of people moved down there because in Belize, their first language is English. They teach English only in the classrooms, and everybody learns Spanish at home. So right. But that's kind of the stuff that I'm thinking about as far as when I go to Belize. Again, I'm not moving until next summer, but when I move, I won't be streaming for like a whole 2 weeks or something like that, or until I get everything situated. I'm going to rent a container, like what you see on a container truck or one of those things on the ship, funnel all my stuff in there, and then move it down there to Belize. I'm gonna do that when I move, or I might just rent out a furnished house for like $1,500 a month or something like that. And the furnished houses are nice. And I will have to. I got the flat screen TVs. I have to find a storage unit up here or so until I come back up here to put everything in a unit when I move into a house, something like that. But it's a fun plan. It'll be fun. It's going to be some work, of course. But like I said, tomorrow I'm calling the consulate over in the Los Angeles consulate, the Belize consulate in Los Angeles. Excuse me. And I'll be asking them some questions about what I need to do to move down there because I'm younger. I'm not retired, right? So there's like different rules for retired people moving down there than just some like random 27-year-old looking to go down there. So in theory, I would have 20 shares that could potentially be worth 3K a share if Amazon were to get back to that level after splitting. Yes, but the market cap would have to go up a crazy, crazy amount. But the same, yeah, yes, but that is the thing. Uh, let's say you had 10 shares, whatever it may be, whatever that price is. If it does hit the old highs, because what'll happen is as soon as it splits, the chart will change. So the all-time highs will still be the all-time highs, but they'll just be different numbers. So it won't look like the chart's like all the way up here at 3,000. When it splits, you won't see the price come back down, right? But yeah, if it ever gets back up to that, you'll have that many shares at that specific price. If it does go back up to those pre split levels, yes. Oh, it's right here. And hey, Ryan, look different. I can't put my finger on it, but you look good, Mike. It might be the shirt. My channel got demonetized, and I've been like really stressed out about it because YouTube is flat out ignoring me at this point. I've been saying at Team YouTube, like, help me please, and they just like, no. So, what I've decided to do, and I'm kind of already embracing it right now, as you guys can tell a little bit more of, I'm not going to worry about the views. I'm not going to stress out about YouTube at all. I'm just going to have fun and post and talk with you guys about whatever I feel like I want to talk about. And for those of you guys who are members and have been here for a while, I'm happy to answer any of you guys' questions and stuff like that. And then whenever any of this gets fixed up, whether it takes like another 25, 30 days or something like that before you guys get your memberships back, then I'll start doing more member streams and member live videos and stuff like that, and just having a good time and so forth, right? And it'll be a good time going forward. I'm not going to be stressing out so much as I have been. I've been really tired and exhausted. Not in particular with YouTube, but just YouTube life. Loki with all of his energy bursts he's been recently getting. Planning to move has been a little bit of it, and just Lack of sleep. I feel like I haven't been getting much sleep lately. I'm not sure why. But yeah, so that type of stuff. So I'm more energetic. No, I'm not even. I'm not more energetic yet, but I am feeling better that that kind of weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. Um, because if you go back and look at my videos from like a year ago, I was so much more happier. So I'm trying to get back to that, and I didn't really care as much then because I was just a trader, just having fun with YouTube. I'm gonna go back to that, and I think over time that'll be much better for me because I can put so much more effort into it without having to worry about these grand scheme things, these grand plans of what I want my channel to be. I'll just keep on making content, and then over time I'll figure out what I kind of want to do, and then I'll kind of let you guys know, and then we'll kind of do more of that. But for now, when I want to make a tutorial, I'll make a tutorial. When I want to tell you what coins I'm buying, I'll do it with the little caveat of saying like, hey, if I'm buying these coins, please don't just follow me blindly. Do your own due diligence because I may lose money, and you may lose money, or we may both make money, depending on what I buy or what we buy. But I want to make sure that we're all on the same page as that because most of you guys know to do your own due diligence, but some people just kind of buy willy nilly, and it scares me. I don't like being responsible for other people's losses in the markets. Let's see. Hello, picture. It'll be worse, right, in the United States if USA sanctions China. Yeah, it if China and the United States get into this little bit of a sanctions battle and and stop trading, so to speak, you're going to see a lot of the stuff that on the cheaper side that would affect different communities, like the poor communities, more rural communities, more inner city communities. They're going to be hit pretty hard on those type of things, and you may see some riots and things of that nature. But I think we're a little bit further off from that, like a riot or anything like happening. I think what may have to happen is, well, there'll just be a run. It'll be pretty bad. I don't know if America would support Taiwan in that circumstance, right? That's why I think right now, if you think about it, America is already building up semiconductor plants because in case Taiwan is attacked, depending on the administration, I don't know if we would actually go to Taiwan's defense because it would be that bad to the American economy. Now we probably would because politicians, money, military, industrial complex, all that good stuff. Most likely we would, but oh my gosh, that would just be a very, very chaotic time that nobody would want to deal with. But I'd be in Belize, so I'd kind of just be looking on, saying, "Hey, mom, hey, sister, it's kind of getting kind of bad in America. You want to hop down to Central America for a quick minute to say hi, and see how that goes." And what's right here? Do I invest in penny stocks? Never, unless I'm trying to YOLO something just for some fun. But normally, I don't invest in penny stocks at all. I don't really see the value in them. The only time I usually invest in penny stocks is something more of a bankruptcy candidate. Like I invested in Hertz when it was like pennies because it got delisted and it went to the over-the-counter market. And I was like, you know what? I'm hearing rumbles that somebody may actually help out Hertz and they won't go bankrupt after all. So let me see if I can actually buy some there for a quick little, 1 week hold and see if it has a little bit more of a return. I don't know actually if it's on TradingView here or if it actually moved back to the old market because I sold everything back a while ago. HTZ, Hertz Global, back on the NASDAQ here. Yeah, so let's kind of go back in time here and look at this. 2021. So see, it was back in the pennies over here. Back in the pennies over here, and I sold it right up here. Had a big jump. I sold it all. It went higher, but yeah. What do you call? I guess no. I had still to pay the fee. Yeah, I didn't transfer it over. But yeah. It's been doing okay so far. I'm happy I sold it here. Again, pennies, up to about $24. It was a pretty good one. Now I only invested like a couple $100 because it was a YOLO play for me, right? But again, that was a good play. But again, this was a bankruptcy candidate. If you guys, know I have a video on FinViz about bankruptcy candidates here. Where are the settings at? There we go. Jesus. All right. Bankruptcy candidate right here. We don't even need any of these. Oh no, maybe we should actually do that. Should we? Yeah. Maybe. There you go. Maybe some bankruptcy squeeze candidates down here. Two new. I don't can't pronounce that corporation. And then Rad. Rad is at 6.99. They can still come down. Rite Aid. Oh, Rite Aid. Short float 33%. Oh, ooh. No, when was the earnings on this? April 14th. That's when next earnings comes over. What was the news today? Wait, yeah, what was the news today? Hold on. Meager gains. Oh, I see. Okay, let me make sure I don't play that video. Rite Aid stock crashes 20% after Wall Street analysts suggest retailer could go out of business. Rite Aid's outlook is a hot mess, so the company it may not be in business much longer. At least that's what's the word from Deutsche Bank. I don't really rely on them too much. $1 price target. Wowza. So yeah, I may actually be paying attention to this. Now, I actually don't shop at Rite Aid. I don't really go in there ever. I go to Walgreens, but that's just because I know Walgreens more, and they have like these cool little programs that you get money back on. And I'm usually going there for my mom, not for me. So she has like a little card that she says, "Michael, take the card, swipe it. I get points." I don't know what they add up to, but you get points. So it needs to keep on making money. So yeah, with the decline of the retail pharmacy segment, okay. So, um, yeah, so that'll be interesting. Um, that's going on my watch list here. I'm not going to be buying it yet here, but I'm hoping that over the next few months, short float of 33%, 33%. I may look at this on a similar move right there. Not I'm not going to be as excited about it as I was with Hertz, but this is still going to be something I keep an eye on, for sure. Huh. Yeah. So like Rite Aid, right? So, a lot of days when you look at that particular scanner setting, it actually like you only see two things right now. Usually there's nothing. Usually there's nothing, right? Because the float short has to be over 30% for it to hit. Like maybe if I go over 20%, you see a lot more right here. We have RMO. Look at it. Romeo Power. Everything's coming down, down, down. And then what some people do is they go under 15%, but then as a caveat, they actually have the price under $1, so they're stuck with the penny stocks. And then with that, you add 134 different stocks now. Now I don't like that, so that's why I keep it under 30, right there. And then now we got 137. Something feels weird about what I just did here. I feel like I messed up something I shouldn't have. But anyway, you still see how they have the 30% isn't oh over 30%. That's what it was. Tour is the only one that pops up now. Travel services, consumer cyclical travel services, China. So yeah, a little bit different here. But a short float of 41%. And this is something that I may be looking into buying as well. Maybe something for a longer term hold. $100 into this. If it ever goes up, it'll be nice. Off of a little bit of a pop. Maybe even buy as optionable. Yeah, maybe even options on this for a little bit of a YOLO down the road. I don't know how much liquidity is in that market though, so I have to check that out. But yeah, so like things like this, you can definitely find those. If there's any penny stock that I ever buy, it's usually off of that list in particular. Let's go back to the 1 minute Bitcoin here. And there we go. We're trying to bounce off a little bit here. We were trying to break out, didn't work out too much. Yeah, I heard about the Halo Switch. I heard about the lawsuits. I don't think they're going to really amount to anything as far as Hertz is concerned. Some of them are valid, some of them are not. It's kind of a really bad policy, but I think with all the bad news and publicity coming from it, they're going to change their policy pretty soon, and people will forget about it fairly soon enough. Hertz is kind of a scummy company in the first place, which is why it's the one that went under, right? So, but I don't think the lawsuits are going to hurt them too much in the long term. Well, let's see. It's Ingrid. Let me see right here. Hey, Robert. Um, that would be interesting if they become a power couple. Kathy Woods and who was the other one you said? I can't pronounce his name all the time. Sailor, yeah. Um, that'd be an interesting power couple. But I feel like no, they'd be a good power couple because they would never see each other and they'd always be down and working, right? Because Kathy Woods, Ark Invest hasn't been having the best returns of late. They gained prominence because of the crazy rally, which was kind of they were really heavy in a particular few stocks that went really crazy. They were smart about that. But now that we're back into the choppy waters, it's a different game. It's a completely different game. So they're trying to still stay relevant right now by sticking to the crypto world, the metaverse, blockchain technologies. They're trying to make money and get in there early, so down the road they can be making a bunch of money off it. And you're even seeing corporations like Goldman Sachs starting to get into the crypto game as well, right? So everybody's kind of understanding what's going on now. They had an advantage. Now they're back with the rest of the pack, and now it's going to be a whole different game going forward to see who can make the most money out of all these new innovations happening in the blockchain space, whether it's transactions, the loaning, credit space, or just with just simple utility coins that just like metaverse. They just you're just playing a video game. You're trying to profit off of the game. You're looking to make some money. Basic utility things. It'll be a fun few decades ahead of for us. But again, the best thing you can do if you guys want to is just kind of keep on buying little bits of crypto over time. It'll be very very good for your retirement accounts and things of that nature. Not retirement, not investing advice as you guys all know, but still, it's something that I've been doing pretty handily over the years, just kind of investing more and more. Now, not so much in Bitcoin because I have quite a bit of Bitcoin now. I've been investing more in the realm of Ethereum long term, and I'll be really happy with that. As well as stuff like the Matic, the ADAs, the larger market cap ones. Luna has been something that's been hitting my watch list since like last year as well. So, been buying more and more and more, loving the returns, understanding it's going to be very volatile for a while, but give it time, and I mean time, like not just a few days, not just a few weeks, not just a few months, but years. You will have some fantastic profits coming out once the institutional markets understand that there's no stopping it, and we need to jump on in before we have no market share in this new Web3, this new blockchain filled world, right? Well, I'm going to say buy Rite Aid. I'd be looking for a buyout if I bought Rite Aid. Let's see. Hey, Corn Pump, what particular can I parse CKB? What do you mean by parse? What do you mean by parsing it? Let's see. Northeast Philadelphia in the house. Hey, Miss Tracker. Oh, Tanker. Sorry, Tanker. I don't know why I said Tracker. What's it here? Oh, can I analyze CKB? Yeah, I can analyze it. There we go. Sorry. There we go. Uh, this one. Yeah, I can do that. Look at that breakdown there. We'll go back to Bitcoin in a second here. But just looking back over here, because we haven't looked at this in a while, you guys can tell this technical analysis is just basic trend lines from a long time ago. We broke down, we came back up, got rejected, but ultimately that breakdown is still the breakdown spot. Um, Actually, the breakdown happened right there. Yeah. Came back up to it. You see how we tap it, then we ultimately fall back down. We talked about this a little bit last night. Wait, this is what you most likely would have wanted to be shorting it down. Um, Held on to support here. Maybe that was this. Yeah, old support right there. Okay. Had the death crosses, continued to fall down here after breaking out to have a double top, broke the neckline, came back down, came back up to the top if you wanted to short again. Um, and now we're kind of in a pickle here. So let me get rid of these drawings here. Let's do kind of a longer term trend line just to kind of see what's going on right now. That's fine. Shorter term, we just broke down. We could be tapping back up here. This is what I don't want to see on Bitcoin, right? We break down. It may come back up here a little bit more before ultimately coming back down. But we did have the breakdown here. We had a golden cross. Maybe that might help us out a teeny bit, but it really didn't so far, right? Going forward, I wouldn't really be. I mean, if I hell was holding this, I wouldn't be too concerned for a long term play. I think it'll be fine long term wise. But short term, it looks like it'll most likely just consolidate in this realm for a little bit until Bitcoin makes that choice of hitting up above the 200 daily moving average. If that happens, you'll actually be seeing this go back up maybe towards 16, 17 cents for like a really good rally going for this one. But short term here, what do we have? We have some support right here. Yeah, what was it? That was resistance. Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be back to support. We have some support almost around 12 cents, a little bit below that. We can get rid of that for now though, because that's gonna cloud up the chart. Going forward though, you're just gonna want to hold this. It's in this middle zone where it's looking to either break out above this level, which is gonna be buying opportunity, or break down, which would be a selling opportunity if you wanted to short it. Right now, it's no man's land. When it's no man's land, you're either holding it or you're looking to just find. You're just looking to wait for it to break out or break down because it just broke down. That's not boding well for it. But even if it did break down, Bitcoin decides where it goes. It doesn't decide its own will at this point, right? So back to one. It's still trying to pop here. This is an interesting little battle going on. Did you hear about McDonald's accepting Bitcoin but not Doge? Yeah, I saw that. Doge has more work to do than Bitcoin. They have more work. They're late to the party, right? Dogecoin is. They've been doing this stuff for a while now, but Dogecoin just got a name a while ago. Dogecoin really needs to start building those connections and going a little bit faster here. As far as Dogecoin is concerned, here, let me actually just go over here to the Dogecoin website. Oh, let me see. Dogecoin website. I don't go over here too often. No, no, no. They don't have a website like what I want them to have, which will have I want the website to have like job listings and things of that nature. I want to see if that could happen. I want to see what jobs they're hiring for and what they're trying to do. Dogecoin will get there one day, but I don't think at this pace they're going to be the first one there, right? So that means over the years, if they can stop being so freaking inflationary, they could get up into like the $2-3 range. But what has to happen is like my one problem with Dogecoin is they keep on making new coins, new coins, new coins. I wish at one point in time Dogecoin would just stop making coins, and then there'd be a set amount in the marketplace. That way, supply and demand can kind of switch around a little bit. Right now, the supply keeps growing, and the demand is kind of all over the place. We like it, we don't. But overall, supply keeps on going up, and the demand isn't keeping up with that new supply, and that's why Dogecoin keeps on going down, 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 bit by bit by bit. Right? We need Dogecoin to be the demand to outpace the supply. That way, the price can start going back up. But we're not just looking for a quick, pump and dump like we had the other day. We're looking for more of a long-term strategy with Dogecoin, where it can become more useful. They have the connections. They can get the partnerships with McDonald's, Burger King, Best Buy, Walmart, whoever, whatever, and then the price will go up over time as people see it as a viable currency to be using to buy specific products. Right now, if you look at the chart, it looks like it's a depreciating asset. It's going down and down and down. Now, again, I still hold my Dogecoin because I think it's going to hit $1 one day, and I'm hoping to sell around that price, starting around 60 cents, and then kind of selling the majority of it by $1, then leaving the rest to kind of go on for a few more years. But until then, they need to switch up their approach, and they need to go. They do need to get those partnerships out there, and they need to find a way to stabilize the price of their coin in a way where they're not. Just think about the way the world is right now. Everybody's mad about inflation. Why would they buy Dogecoin if Dogecoin is just naturally going to be inflated? You're going to see the value go down bit by bit because demand isn't keeping up with all this new supply that comes out every day. That's the issue. That's really the issue going forward here. Now, I think they can do it, which is why I'm happy that I bought some. But again, they need to focus on that. That's like the gripe I have with them. But again, I'm still invested with it, so don't take it as like, oh my God, Michael's gonna sell all those Dogecoin, or he doesn't like Dogecoin anymore. It's just something they need to get above that hurdle. And I don't know if they're ever going to be able to do it. But if they ever came out and said, hey, we have an announcement, we're going to stop, having new Dogecoin on the market. We're just going to have a set amount of Dogecoin, and that's it. If they did that, Dogecoin would probably pop like freaking 40%. It would be crazy. But I don't know if they can do that or if they will do that. I just hope that they will do that. Let's see. See, yeah, I would have to worry about hurricanes if I moved down to Belize. Yes, that is true. Yeah. I thought about Puerto Rico too, even though they have hurricanes as well. But what I heard about Puerto Rico is that they have a lot of blackouts. For some reason. I guess there's a new energy company in town and they really suck or something like that. So I don't want to deal with blackouts. I need power. I need air conditioning. Loki without air conditioning would be scary to me. That would worry me. But yeah, I probably have to worry with hurricanes. But I can build a hurricane proof house, right? Which basically means I have extra shutters and stuff for the windows. So like if the hurricane's coming, you just close everything up. You batten down the hatches. The house is like built like a tank, right? Which is why I'm thinking of building a house from scratch instead of just buying one. Mostly because I want to have everything precisely how I want to have it. And the way I'm thinking of building the house here is building the house in a way that I can add on to it over the years. And so maybe it starts off as 1,500 square feet, nice little house, maybe 2 floors or something like that. And then over time they bash through some walls, build another part of the house over here, another part of the house over here, and then maybe a little bit later we have a pool that I add into it. Maybe we add another side little place for another bedroom, another bathroom. I kind of want to like build it like that, and I think an architect could help me out with that type of strategy. It might cost more, of course, but at the same time, if I could get a house as sooner rather than later, I'd be really happy with that. See. You know I love my Ethereum and Tesla top two holding trading, plus a bunch of others. What are your top two, one a crypto, one stock option? So for crypto right now, my top one is always just going to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been really good, but as far as what I've been pumping most of my money into, it's been Ethereum. Ethereum is a good standard where I just kind of pump money into it over time. As far as stocks are concerned, the heaviest ones I'm usually are in is stuff like Visa that's kind of safe, kind of like Ethereum, but it keeps on going up. Now Visa's kind of slowed down, of course, because the economy's been slowing down. But I started buying Visa back in 2013 in large amounts. That's before I even started trading, right? And that was because I had a friend. So I went to college. My first year, I started doing Uber for work, a little bit here, a little bit there. No, not even. Oh, no, it wasn't even before that. Basically, I was looking at the bowling alley. Never mind. I met a guy, and he was a really smart individual. He worked in Bozeman, Montana from home, and he pretty much managed a bunch of people's assets, like millions of dollars in assets. And we were talking, and I was like, "Yeah, I want to get into the markets one day. It just seems like so much work, you know." And I just kind of asking him some questions because I didn't know anything about the market back then. I just knew there was a way to make money out of it. And basically at the end of it, he was like, "Buy Visa, buy Visa, buy Visa." So from 2013, I had been buying Visa. So if we go over here and we go to look at the month chart, Visa back over here, 2013, right up here, right? Ever since then, I mean, it's been on a tear. So it's been really good for me overall here. Now it's had some problems like with COVID and stuff like that. But if I just go to the random price here in 2013, right around here, I mean, up 472% for about 10 years. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. This is something I have in my retirement account though. If you're asking more of what I hold right now as far as something that's like not as long term, I kind of sold a lot of stuff right over the last year. I told you guys about that, but I have been buying Boeing quite a bit here. And that's mostly because I know Boeing. My whole family's worked for Boeing. Like my great grandparents worked for Boeing. My grandparents worked for Boeing. My aunts and uncles and great grandparents, like great, the brothers and sisters, all they've all worked for Boeing. I am the first person in my family to not work for Boeing since my great grandparents. Everybody else has worked for Boeing for at least a few years. I am the first one not to, because they don't really give me. They're not really competitive in the market space, at least enough for me to really have wanted to work there. Downtown Seattle was also much better atmosphere, if you ask me, better than going up to Everett. Um, and that's really because Boeing, it's had a rough time, and I've been happy to start buying it back up. So I've owned Boeing for a while, mostly because my grandparents always something like, Michael, you want to own some Boeing. Boeing's gonna be bigger and bigger, and it's a protected industry in America, which means like America's not gonna let Boeing go bankrupt because they make the military helicopters, some of the military parts for the planes. They have all these logistics sectors that kind of control all the movements of all these parts all across the world, and they monitor everything. They're a really good company. But you see with Boeing, they really do have like you saw Visa's chart, right? Boeing has these massive swings. Like when the economy goes down, they get hit a lot more than Visa, a lot more. That's why Visa is my long term thing. Is it just goes. Boeing is something where I like to buy it over time, and then when it rallies back up later on, I'm really happy with it, right? And you see COVID right here with all the nasty stuff with the planes crashing and stuff like that. Beforehand, I think there was some battery issues, 16 or something like that, right? With the Dreamliner, I think it was called. And so I've been accumulating this mostly like around the 100 like 30 $40 level, and I'm gonna continue buying it over the next few years here. And then the next cycle down the road, I think Boeing will actually get back up towards like $700 $800, like way higher. And then I'll sell it around there. But this is like it's another long term thing. But until then, this is something I'm really happy with buying. Um, Yeah, this is again. This isn't really much of a short term one either. But yeah, those are some of the stocks that I've really been looking at. And one day, not anytime soon, I'm assuming, but one day they're going to put back their dividends. Um, if you were to see over here, back because they were having some issues with the planes crashing and the batteries and stuff like that, and they weren't making as much revenue, having to deal with all these extra problems and the lobbying and all that type of crap. They actually stopped their dividends, and I actually liked Boeing because they had good dividends. Well, you can see there used to be a little D after all the E's after the earnings, a little dividends. They stopped it. They stopped it. When dividends come back, that may be a sign for you to start buying Boeing if you don't want to buy it right now during all this really portions of things, right? Because they've had dividends going back for a long time. Like, look at it, all the way back over here, all the way since '96, all the way back over here since '87. They've been having dividends forever, and they just stopped it, right? And there's no way that America will let Airbus or any of the Chinese corporations be dominant in America. They can't allow it to happen because it's a national security issue. And as much as we all like Europe, I don't think America would trust Europe for the specific type of planes and things that we need. They may give out contracts every now and again, but the majority of the contracts will go to Boeing, which Europe doesn't like. But I mean, Europe does the same thing with Airbus, right? It's a different type of strategy, I guess you would say, on a national level. Hey Caesar, can I do a quick tia on OXY? Yeah, oil. I know we talked about this a while ago. It's still going strong here. So as far as oil is concerned, let's kind of watch this trend line here and see where we're at. Tap, tap. Okay, we tap right there. It may come all the way back down to $52 or so soon. There's not really a reason to be buying it at this particular time from a technical standpoint, but from a yeah, right there. We just broke down, right? Now that's a baby breakdown. That's nothing really crazy that is going to freak everybody out, right? We just have this upward channel. We broke down below it. Right now, maybe what? Not even. Yeah, we keep on breaking down. Basically, the I think oil will go higher over the next month or so, and we'll have another spike. So that's going to be more of an oil thing because this has been moving up because of the oil, right? I like this particular stock. I think it's fine. I think because oil is going to continue going up in my mind, I think this is going to be a good hold because I can see this reaching like 70, $80. If oil really does hit like 120, $130 a barrel again. Like let's go back over here. USA oil. There you go. So I think give it some time. I think this Russia escalation thing will actually hit a boiling point soon, where once the spring hits and Europe isn't really in such a cold climate, so to speak, right? They will be much more likely to say, hey, we are going to hammer down and no more purchasing of oil from Russia. That's going to be the major catalyst that I can see coming in the future that would drive up oil prices. But in my mind, um, I'm not thinking of something that's going to be a short term pop over the next week. It's going to be something where you might be adding to these positions, any of these oil stocks, bit by bit over the next few weeks until you kind of hit the number you want to, especially if it keep coming down here. And then we'll be able to, at one point or another, one day the price of the stock or, whether it's Exxon or the one you're talking about, it'll just pop up like crazy. And then no matter what price you bought it at, even if it was going down still afterwards, that big pop is what you're going to be aiming for. At least that's what I can foresee in the market. Because right now, like, so here's an article from the New York Times. Why Germany just can't pull the plug on Russian energy. Okay. Last year, Russia supplied more than half of the natural gas and about a third of the oil that Germany burned to heat homes, power factories, and fuel cars, buses, and trucks. Roughly half of Germany's coal imports, which are essential to its steel manufacturing, came from Russia. The first natural gas pipeline connecting what was the West Germany to Siberia was completed in the early 1980s. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. He indicated that Germany would support a fifth package of sanctions against Russia, including an import ban on Russian coal, announced Tuesday by the European Union's President Ursula von der Leyen. Yeah. Um, let's see. Yeah, what was he? But so this is the problem here. So from the heads of leading chemical and steel companies to the makers of gummy bears, business leaders have warned that without a steady supply of gas, oil, and coal, their production would grind to a halt. And so pretty much kind of like us, they're more exposed to Russia, like we're more exposed to China. And let me see. Dependent on gas, national economy. We have both. Yeah. Do we want to? Yeah, exactly. So there's a reason why they're not doing it yet. But if they need less energy because it's not as cold, they may be more likely to do more sanctions and stuff like that. And again, we're also waiting to see if Russia chooses to escalate this any more than they already have. And by that, I mean chemical weapons, like carpet bombing type of thing, or a tactical nuke. No, I don't think about a tactical nuke. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't really understand warfare, right? I just play video games. Not the same thing, of course. It's going to be up to Russia to really drive that price up. So, in a sense, when you're dealing with these oil stocks, you're betting that Putin is going to do something stupid and escalate. And so far, he's been on par. We got some really good money out of the oil stocks. If you talk with us a little bit ago, or a few weeks ago, because we were saying, hey, I don't know, when did we first start talking about the Russia war? Videos. Like back when we were doing the spy puts and we were saying, hey, we got to start looking out for war. 2 months ago, right? 2 months ago. So if you started preparing for this a couple months ago, you're still in a good spot, but you're betting on Putin to do something stupid. You're betting on Putin to do something stupid. Until then, you might see losses in a couple of these oil stocks as the price continues to drop here, going back to the February levels. Okay, and then of course we may break out or so, but the technicals for oil are a little bit different than the technicals for other type of things. It's more of a global fundamental thing rather than a technical thing when it comes to the markets, the oil market. Excuse me. Basic supply and demand, and Saudi Arabia, everybody that produces oil, Venezuela, they're all giving the middle finger to Joe Biden right now, quite frankly, and because they understand that Americans hate high gas prices, and they don't like Joe Biden, and so they're just like, we're not going to help you out at all. We're just not going to help you out, just not. So they're not going to be producing any more oil anytime soon, as far as I know. Maybe they might do it down the road, but for now they feel no incentive, no reason to actually do that. And I think that's because if you think about it, Saudi Arabia, I guess, remember they killed that journalist. Biden's been very critical of them because of that. And now when we need their help, they're like, well, you could have been more diplomatic, which means like just overlook it. It's our thing, not yours, that type of thing. Our problem, not yours. Or Venezuela, remember the Trump administration's, they don't like the Maduro candidate, whatever happened over there, the fake election, it was rigged, whatever. But they don't like that as well. They don't like Biden because he hasn't changed the policies yet after Trump's been out of office. So everybody that could be producing more oil, and then there's Russia, of course, right? But everybody that can be producing more oil to help out this problem, it's not gonna. We don't have the power or the gravitas or whatever, the connections to really make these people change their minds about helping us out. And then it comes back down to American corporations, right? Our oil production, I watched the entire hearing. It was like 6 freaking hours. It was so boring. We are building up our production, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. It's just not. There's too many problems. The oil corporations are afraid that Biden's going to do a reverse on them, so to speak. And by that I mean, over the last few years, Biden's been saying, let's put all the oil companies out of business. Let's put all the coal companies out of business. And as soon as as soon as they need them, they're starting to help out a little bit. But they understand that once this kind of high gas prices, and once this this problem is over, he'll go right back to saying, let's get rid of the oil companies, and so forth, right? So they don't really have as much of an incentive to really go at full speed. So there's a whole bunch of things at play, but it all comes back down to politics, which really sucks because politics sucks. Politics as a whole sucks. And you're seeing how just the fact that Joe Biden doesn't have a relationship or a good relationship with any of these people that we need on a personal level, we can't get the deals done, right? I mean, Trump had a good relationship with Saudi Arabia. He had a bad relationship with Venezuela, and he had a good relationship with Putin, right? Well, now if you kind of look at it backwards now, the only thing that we could have done if Trump was still in office is not go after Putin. I mean, not try to ask him for help, not to ask Venezuela for help, because remember Trump's still very anti-Venezuela policy, right? And we would have to go to OPEC, and maybe there'd be a chance to go there. But again, who even knows if Trump would have been able to get that deal done? We don't know. We're never going to know. You know, we can't even know. We can barely assume what would have happened. All we know is right now we're kind of stuck in this tough situation, and it's more of a political issue right now that's having domestic problem causing problems for us domestically. I had like 50 miles left in my gas tank today, and I filled it up, which means like I was pretty low. It was like not at E but close. I filled up my gas to go to the dog park with Loki today, and my gas cost $66.67 just to fill up my gas tank. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And if I was, on welfare or a lower income individual, that means I am not doing anything really fun this week because I can't afford to, because I am paying for these heavy gas prices. And I don't even drive that much. I drive to the dog park, to the weed shop, and to Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and Safeway. Grocery shopping. That's all I do. Maybe to see a friend every now and again. That's all I drive. So I don't have to fill up my gas tank hardly ever. The people out there, that have to drive to work every day, yowza. Like, ouch, 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 right? And so that will affect the economy going forward, most likely leading to a recession along with the Federal Reserve raising interest rates. So it'll be a bad time for everybody. I do want to see, though, we haven't had a big recession really since crypto came to the market. How is a recession going to help or hurt crypto? I'm very interested to see what's going to happen there. Because right now you would think it's going to hurt crypto, right? But again, if there's any recession, it won't happen until the end of this year or the beginning of next year. Maybe beginning of mid of 2022. It's not going to happen anytime soon. If it does, I'll be shocked. And that means the Federal Reserve did something really stupid, which would not surprise me. What's right here? Hey, CoinPump, do I think Dogecoin hit a dollar this year? In order for Dogecoin to hit a dollar this year, I believe Bitcoin would have to hit like $80,000, $90,000, setting off another altcoin season, like an altcoin season. If we don't see that, Dogecoin isn't going to have it. Right now, Bitcoin's kind of teetering on a major decision in these next couple weeks. If we end up coming back down to like $25,000 or so, most likely not. It'll probably happen in Q1 or Q2 of next year. But if we do make this larger move up and we start going back up towards, all-time high sometime maybe in the summer, then yeah, Dogecoin could hit a dollar by midsummer, by the end of summer. But again, it's if. Like, I am not certain about that whatsoever. It would really depend on what Bitcoin's doing. So it could happen. The chances of Bitcoin doing that, we're going to have to wait a few more weeks to see if we actually break out and we can really start chucking back up again. Or if for whatever reason there's just not as much demand for Bitcoin right now and we slump back down to the low 30s or the high 20s or something like that. But yeah, it can definitely. Oh, what's right here? Dogecoin deflation starts in 2050. Yeah, that's too far away. Uh, you don't want to live in PR. What's PR? Nice to visit. That's it. That's a great question. Dogecoin inflation will drop to 2.4% per year. Then 2060 will become deflation coin. Yeah, I don't like that. That's too far away. That's way too far out there. You need to think more. They need to think more short term. More short term. Way more short term. Again, that's why if Dogecoin hits a dollar, I'm selling the majority of mine by that point. But I'm going to leave some in there for a longer period of time. But again, we may, like next time Dogecoin goes berserk, we may see another crazy crash afterwards. Like the whole market tends to crash after these events, right? Why would I continue to hold on that Dogecoin there knowing it's going to come back down? That's why last time when Dogecoin rallied up to like 74 cents, 75 cents, I was happy. I was happy and glad to sell my Dogecoin at 50 cents, or half of my Dogecoin at 50 cents. And it was very important to me to do that because I knew I had to take some type of profit during this crazy roller coaster ride, because the crazy roller coaster ride doesn't last forever, right? The gravy train doesn't always last. Well, it never lasts forever. And I remember because what I did is I sold it with you guys on the stream. Well, right before I hopped on the stream. And then I wasn't planning on streaming, but Dogecoin was going boom at the moment. And I was getting ready to go to bed, and I had smoked a quarter of a joint. So I was pretty high. But I was talking with you guys while pretty out of it. And I got so much hate for it. So I didn't really talk about Dogecoin as far as me selling it for a while afterwards, because I took so much hate for selling Dogecoin, like so much hate, and I was like, "What are you guys?" Like, I was like, "But I made money. Like, what are you guys talking about? I made money. Like, no, you could have made so much more money. We're going to $1. We're going to $2, man." And I was just like, "Well, good. I still have a bunch of Dogecoin left over. I'll sell it if it reaches those levels." But of course, we never hit $1, right? So, just make sure for everybody that holds Dogecoin, I hold a good amount of Dogecoin. I'm scaling out at certain levels just to make sure if for whatever reason there's a dump in the market down the road, that I don't have to worry about losing significant amounts of profit, right? With the profit I made from Dogecoin, I put some in some savings accounts. I put some in my retirement. I saved some for taxes. But then what I did with the rest of it, I splurged on a whole bunch of fun stuff. Remember, I bought a $3,500 flat screen TV. I bought the two tower speakers valued like $700 or something like that. Now they're valued like with inflation, they're like at $1,300 a pop or something like that now. I got the central channel speaker for like $500-$600. The subwoofer for like $500-$600. I got the entertainment system, the audio receiver for $1,000, a little over $1,000. I went crazy with all that fun money, and I had a blast doing it. And you know what? If I didn't sell any of my Dogecoin, I would not have been able to have any as much fun there. And you guys have to remember, there's a reason why you guys are trading. It's to make money so you can do whatever you want with it. You guys, if you guys made a bunch of money on Dogecoin, maybe you guys didn't splurge it on a new TV or something like that. My mom literally said, "Why did you just go buy a new TV when you just bought a new 75-inch TV not 6 months earlier?" And I told her because I could, and I was really happy. So I just went blah, 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 blah all over the place. Right? And so, the goal is always to make money. There are times where you will profit off of good news, bad news, sad news, right? I took some flack for telling you guys to buy puts using the Ukrainian war as a pretext, right? Like, let's make money off of the fact that we think Russia's going to invade Ukraine. Let's make money off of that. Because Wall Street's going to make money off of that. A lot of retail traders are going to make money off of that. But I took flack, not from many of you guys, but just, random people that kind of look at the channel every now and again, because they thought it was really cold and, not a nice thing to do. But at the same time, as an investor, I'm a pretty cold individual, right? The money I made from those puts, which was like 700%, right? I spent a lot of that on my mom. My mom was in the hospital, if you guys remember, for like a whole a month and a half. I brought her food every single day for lunch because hospital food, if you guys don't know, it sucks. So I bought her a bunch of food, and if you guys didn't know, buying somebody food every day for a month and a half for lunch is expensive. Right? I could have paid for that out of my own pocket, right? But the same thing, it's stuff like that allows me to do all that type of stuff and pay all those bills, right? And I want you guys to know that over time, it's okay to be cold in the market. We all have morals. We all feel for people in Ukraine, and I'm not saying I'm not trying to. I'm viewing myself be perceived as a bad person right now, but you guys get the point I'm trying to make, right? Our only goal is to make money. And if you can use real events to make money, events in the world to make money, by all means go for it. Like right now, Africa is being full on fully taken advantage of by Western countries, Eastern countries. Everybody is pretty much just pillaging Africa's resources. Africa right now is very slowly starting to turn the tables and say, hey, we want to do business with you, but unfortunately, because you guys are taking all the profits, we're going to have to start making some of these things here. And then if you want access to them, you're going to have to lower the tariff so we're able to sell to you guys. Because right now the whole system is rigged against Africa because Africa has all these resources, but nobody wants to have Africa have those jobs and those resources because, of course, that means America doesn't have them, Canada doesn't have them, Switzerland doesn't have them for as far as chocolate's concerned, right? UK, Germany, they all have lots of interest down in Africa. Everybody is anti-Africa policy because they don't want Africa to make the goods and sell the goods because then they would be getting all that money while the corporations in those specific countries, the Western ones and the Eastern ones like China, they're not making that money. Now that Africa, and I'm talking about slowly, they are slowly kind of adjusting to this situation now. Over the next few years, I am going to be buying heavily in the African markets and looking for those markets that are exposed. They have exposure where they can get growth, and they have the connections with American governments or the Asian governments where everybody is happy where Africans are making more money, they get the jobs over there, and at the same time, the cost of goods isn't so expensive that Americans will choose not to buy it rather than the cheaper chocolate, cheaper goods, whatever it may be. There's minerals, there's goods, there's a whole bunch of stuff. But if that stuff is made in Africa, it becomes more expensive for us, and that's why our countries don't like the thought process of them making everything over there. So it's like a national interest thing. Politics play a big role in it, but sooner or later, if you think about it, how much longer is Africa going to really tolerate this? They may just say, hey, hard no. They may crash their own economies to say no to the West and to the East. It'll be absolutely insane when it happens. But if you guys know, I mean, there's already tensions brewing between African countries and European countries. Just like, I forget the country. There's a country that makes chocolate. There's like two countries that make up like 80-90% of the world's cacao, whatever we call it. And they are starting to say, hey, we are going to make our own chocolate, and we are no longer going to be exporting as much chocolate to you guys because we're going to need it for us. And the European Prime Minister, I forget her name, she did not take it well. She's like, you have the resources. We need the resources to make the chocolate. It's very simple. Like, she was very demeaning to this guy, and he was like, oh. Let me see if I can find the video for you. I'm not going to play it here, but I'll see if I can find it. Swiss Africa chocolate. I don't know if it's actually the Swiss who did it. To go over here as we kind of wait for Bitcoin to do something here. Bitcoin has done nothing since I started talking. It's literally been like nothing here. Um, yeah, here it is. Ghana. Ghana's president does again as shuts down Swiss president with his new cocoa export declaration. So this was a year ago, right? But it got like what 500,000 views almost, right? And so there's starting to be this little bit of a turning point now, as far as Africa is concerned. So once you guys go full time as traders, or you guys have a lot more time to do all the boring work, you guys will start looking at longer term plays, and those go more into fundamentals, and you're starting to see the way the world works. And the more you see the way the world works, the more you realize the world sucks. And that's why you can see the way that countries kind of protect themselves in the nastier ways. Trump one time had a really good line, whether you like him or hate him. He said something to the effect of like, "Wow, you think America's so innocent?" And it comes to the fact that like America, like most countries, we stick to our national interest, and so we all enjoy the fruits of the fruits of other countries' labors because our country's powerful enough to kind of take advantage of them to a certain degree, right? But down the road, it's not going to be as easy. And if it's not as easy, because of course we want globalism, we want everything to be open market, better for everybody. If we're going to work towards that direction, it's just naturally going to happen, whether we want it to or not, or whether the country wants it to or not. Because politicians can be hypocrites. It's a great thing that you can do that as a politician. But basically, over time, I know that I'm going to start investing in some African companies if they're on the American exchanges. I'm going to give them a shot. Now, it's rare that we see a lot of them there, but I'm still going to give it a shot down the road, so to speak, right? So that's kind of a gist of what I'm talking about. Oh, let's see right here. Hey, Bedford, have a great rest of your night. What do you think of HYMC Mining Holdings? It's kind of cheap. I don't know how much I would like this. Um, From a technical standpoint, there's really nothing going on here as far as that would make me excited about this. I'm assuming they've had some good news over the past few months. If you wanted to do something for like a longer term hold, I wouldn't even wait for a breakout. If you find something fundamental about it, I would give it a shot. Just like a couple $100 into it, let it sit for a while. But as far as what the fundamentals may say on this, HYMC, it'd be more for Finviz type of look here. So short float is 70%. Looks like this is actually just having a short squeeze bit by bit here. So I'd be careful about it. AMC, and that's AMC. AMC's down. Why? This is not AMC. Why would they say that? Mining Frost annual report 10K. Okay, that's going to be worth reading. AMC. Why are there so many AMC things in here? Okay, whatever. But it's a short float of 70%. So I'm guessing the fundamentals here are not too good as far as how much money they're making. That this was last year. Okay, so I guess this company that had about 10% stake in it looks like they sold the entire stake out of it. So something happened where the Highbridge Capital Management sold off all of their shares on this company. They lost faith in it for whatever reason. So that's kind of a red flag here going forward. Maybe they're going to do something, but right now it might not be good for a long term hold. If you're looking for more of a short squeeze play, what I would probably say here is what it's at $2. It may fall down a little bit more, but it has like a 70% short float, maybe 50% now since it's already had this little bit of a spike, right? But it's optional short bull. Just buy some like $3, $4 option calls. Hold on to them for like a few weeks, like maybe buy them like a 2 months out, like a really long time out. And if it has, well, let's say a month out. And if it goes parabolic, you can make a good profit. And at the same time, you don't really have to invest much money there to make a good amount of money because you're going to be looking for something really big to happen. But as soon as something really big happens, you're going to have to start scaling out pretty fast. But from a technical standpoint, there's no reason to be buying this. From a short squeeze perspective, yeah, sure. You see there's a high short float. Definitely take advantage of it if you want to. Just understand it's already popped off twice here. It may come down a little bit more, but if you're hoping for a pop, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. You're not going to try to guess the exact time. You're just going to be buying options with a month out expiration date and holding on for dear life, probably with anywhere from a $3 strike price to a $4 strike price. Preferably $3, but just make sure that the spread isn't too big. If you do see there's a large spread in the options market, do a limit order to go closer to the bid price. That way, whenever somebody sells it, you're there to get those options, so to speak. Oh, what's it here? Hey, Brennan. Listen to Mike. I was up 90K and didn't take profits in Doge. Wish I did. Yeah, exactly. Like, and I didn't take as many profits as maybe I should have too. I only sold half of my Dogecoin, right? And hey, Charles, happy to see you. And AMC bought a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of people that bought AMC. Go for it. Just make sure you're not investing the whole house on it. That's all I say. But AMC's still been fun to watch. GameStop's still been fun to watch. They're still doing moves, and they still have their fundamentals are getting a little bit better. Maybe GameStop not as much as AMC. AMC's getting movies back and everything like that. Maybe they can get some better earnings results. And maybe what I would like to see AMC do is kind of, if they can, somehow try to get interest into the metaverse, kind of dive into the metaverse just a teeny bit. And if they can, I think that would give a big catalyst boom to AMC and cause another short squeeze on it, which would be really good. But of course, how are they really going to get into the metaverse in a very realistic way where people are like, oh my god, it's in the metaverse, we gotta buy, let's get these shorts out of here. It would have to be some type of news like that. Because right now, if we go to AMC.com, oh geez, this is not the AMC.com I thought I was getting. Careers. How do I do this? Search jobs. Crypto, nothing. Digital assets, growth marketing. I want to see growth marketing. See, no. So, if they could ever go into the little bit of a cryptoverse thing where you could watch movies or something in the metaverse, something crazy like that where you have the headset on, it'd be a really cool thing. But until that happens, AMC is going to be fun to kind of trade up and down all around. But if down the road we can see a big move happening for it, that'd be fun to watch happen. Okay. But okay, everybody, I'm like 15 minutes over my time. Long story short, Bitcoin's still consolidating right now. We're going to see if if it wants to fall down below this trend line right here and bring us back down towards the low 40s. We'll see what happens. We're trying to hold on right now, but again, we just started the day. We could just be in the wick and we could just take a nasty move down. So be careful with it. Otherwise, if you guys are more bullish, you guys could be buying for a little bit more of a swing. Majority of you guys probably aren't going to be doing anything except for maybe just holding what you have and maybe waiting for us to break out above that 200 daily moving average. Otherwise, maybe just a little bit of nibbles here and there. So overall, I'm not too concerned about where Bitcoin is at the moment. We're still at a good spot. My main thing here is on the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, I want to see us close above the 20-week moving average. See how we tapped it last week, but we still managed to get back up here? I would like to see us in the next few days curl back up and just make sure that no matter what happens, we close above this 20. Because if we don't, that's kind of a green light for shorts to go boom. Let's bring us back down, baby, back down to like $38,000 or so. So we don't want to see shorts do that. Just like how we talked about a few days ago, how if we started to close down below these levels and we close down below it just ever so slightly, I mean, just ever so slightly here. Now let's just zoom in here. Ever so slightly off of those support levels, you saw how shorts took full advantage of it, and they're like, let's go to town, right? And then of course every time we break down below a moving average, it's a longer candle, and every day that we kind of didn't go do anything, the 20-day moving average got closer and closer to the point where I said, hey, watch out, there's still tons of shorts in this area if they're going to try to use the 20-day moving average to crash us down, and they did, right? Not crash, but drop us down pretty. But okay, everybody, have a great night, everybody. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll announce the time tomorrow because I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. If I think I might have to help my mom with something because tomorrow's Friday. Oh no, tomorrow's Friday. So yeah, I'll probably be streaming at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, sometime around there. But yeah, we'll see. But okay, buddy, get ready for a lot more videos coming up. I'm not going to really be caring about the views in the videos. Anything that I find interesting about crypto or stocks or anything, I will make a very short video explaining it either on my phone or on the computer if it needs to be a little bit more of a longer explanation. But yeah, look forward to those videos coming out pretty soon. And then we'll see how everything goes. Thanks a lot, everybody.